Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. We took the green pill on yesterday's very bullish monthly close and looking to continue the momentum into tonight's weekly close as well. Today we're going to follow up on the Bitcoin and XRP charts and go over some price levels to look out for as we move towards the upcoming August new moon. We've been using the moon phases here on this channel as our key indicator, and it's really stepped up our accuracy for determining price direction on Bitcoin and being able to navigate this crypto bull run more effectively month after month. And since it's finally August 1st, the new month has started on Patreon. If you've been waiting patiently to join, I greatly appreciate your support. Much love. You can join by visiting patreon.com/watersabove to sign up for the Mastermind community membership. You'll get instant access to my exclusive Patreon posts, all of my weekly Red Pill episodes, which is my technical analysis podcast. I go over altcoins weekly. You'll also get access to our community Discord where you could chat with like-minded individuals and where you'll also be able to get updates live of what I'm personally buying or selling. And of course, you'll have full access to the recent Gematria Masterclass, which includes 4 Gematria decodes of VeChain, Hedera Hashgraph, Digibyte, and XinFin Network, with another decode coming very soon for the patrons. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, numerology, and astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. And for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. My email's in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So tomorrow's date is 8/2/2021 for August 2nd, 2021. And that gives us that big old 15. And if we go over here and we add up the date as such, 8 plus 2 plus 20 plus 21, we get that 51. Now this 51 and 15 connection comes back to moon. You can see that right here, 51 and 15. And this is tomorrow, and that will be Monday or lunes, the day of the moon. So we have our August new moon coming in about a week from today, and we're also in the zodiac of Leo. Leo gives us that 32, and the 32nd week of the year starts the day after the new moon on August 9th. Leo also gives us this 15 Chaldean, like XRP gives us the 15 in the same cipher. And then there's also a 32 connection in Leo with Ripple. And we went over this a couple weeks back. You see the 32 and Ripple right there. We went over this a couple weeks back and how I feel that around the 32nd week of the year is going to be a good week for XRP. We're just a week away. The 31st week of the year starts tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting month. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart on the monthly. Again, you could see in yesterday's video, I had this yellow moving average, which was the 9 simple moving average. That's more traditional. I use the 8 simple moving average personally, but just to start this off on the monthly chart, we could see that this was the closure we had yesterday at $41,488 above this 9 simple. Fantastic. I'm just going to change this back to the 8, which is what I like to use on the smaller time frames. So another thing we have coming in tonight is a bi-weekly close. Now, a bi-weekly closure is obviously a very big close to have, and if we were to close about where we are right now, we would get above the 8 simple, and we would get above a couple other moving averages, but we could see this 8 simple is sitting around 40,000, about 40,200. So just maintaining the level we're at right now would be very good for tonight's weekly close. Let me hide some of these and add in our exponential moving averages, and you could see it right away. This is a very big one because we see the 21 right here, the orange moving average. We will have our first close above this since basically back in late April. Again, bi-weekly closure is big. So this close right now is not only getting above the 21, it's also getting above the 13, another shorter term moving average. And you can see all three of these moving averages are sloping to the upside. So that is bullish. Now let's move this on to the weekly. See a couple things we're getting right now. So again, we see all of our moving averages sloping to the upside. This is very good. And the infamous 21-week moving average, the 21 EMA, and you could see we're above that as well. So closing where we're at right now, especially above the $40,200 level on tonight's weekly close, would be massive, because we'd be closing above a lot of these key moving averages. And for those of you that have been following my work for a while, you remember back here in April, I was getting a little worried about Bitcoin, especially after I saw the shit coins pumping. That was a big sign that it was ready for this market to have a correction. And since it went so many simultaneous weeks without a noticeable prolonged correction to the 21-week moving average, it was about time that we backtested it. We backtested it on May 10th, and that followed up by 2 eclipses, the total annual and solar eclipse, and that was where we had our energy reset, and we've cleared out that energy after June 10th. We saw we had a bottoming structure into July, and now as we're transitioning out of July, we're moving out of that energy. This is how this would look on a Wyckoff reaccumulation after decline. Again, a lot of people who are newer to Wyckoff with bigger channels were discussing how this was a spring in Wyckoff. Actually, they said this was a spring in Wyckoff, and they just didn't get it. They were looking at it on very short time frames. They didn't understand that we weren't in a classic accumulation schematic. We were in a reaccumulation schematic, where on a very long-term time frame, if you're looking at about a 4-year structure, which is what Bitcoin has, this would be your first LPS after a big SOS. Now what we're just going to see is most likely a bull trap leading into the month of August, possibly early September, and then after that clears out, retests of higher lows, and then continuation of the bull run onto the end of the year around December for Bitcoin. So that's what I've been saying now for months. I'm going to stick to it, and I'm have a lot of data to back that up. I go over it week by week, and more importantly, what we're seeing right now is a very big weekly close up ahead, because getting back above that 21 exponential is huge, and it's huge for all of the cryptos. When Bitcoin does this, it's a sign of strength in the crypto market. So let's look at a couple other things. We have our 3-day closure happening, I believe, as well tonight. So that's very good, because we can see that we're above all the key exponential moving averages, but we're still flipped bearish. Remember, I said I want to see the blue above the orange, above the red, but these are sloping positive. They're sloping to the upside, so that's a good thing. Tonight's closure will be above the 34 as well after a back test of the 34. That is bullish to me. Let's check out the RSI, and the RSI looks like it's sitting above 50. So it's at 54. That's in the bullish control zone. We could see the MACD on the 3-day is flipped bullish. Again, awesome to see. Very good. Now, one of the things we're getting right here on the 2-day is this 55 simple. This 55 simple I was telling you guys about in yesterday's video. That's a big level to have to deal with. But if we zoom in very close, you can see right here that this yellow moving average, the 8 simple, is now crossing back above, and this is a good sign as well. That means in probably less than a month, we're going to have this yellow moving average, which is the 8 simple, crossing bullish above the 55 simple on the 2-day. We already had this happen on the 3-day right here on July 27th. Now we're looking for it to happen on the 2-day. And the only way that could really happen is by getting closures above the 55 simple. And right now that sits at 41,300. That's a sneeze away from here. And the 2-day closure will be happening tomorrow night. So this could easily be taken care of with CME opening later today, and that'll clear out. But anyways, let's just look at the daily really quickly. So we can see here we have about, 6 straight consecutive days of having closures above the 200 exponential moving average. That's very bullish. You can see right here on the 30th, we back tested with a nice bounce. Now today we're getting a little bit fragile, but that's kind of anticipated since it's a weekend. There's no institutional money. The CME is closed. So it just is what it is. We're kind of just holding these levels. And that's what I wanted all along, because I was telling people I don't want to see Bitcoin just raging to the upside. If it's going to start chart moving above 80 RSI in the daily right now, that's not good. That's overheating itself, and it's great right now that we're actually correcting. We could see on the RSI that we cleared out the levels back in March, and that's now the next big level is back in February. So it's actually nice that we cleared out those March highs. We're just back testing this level right now, which was the April highs. And that would be kind of the level I would like us to hold, just to kind of be boring for maybe the rest of today, boring for tomorrow, and then get our support in, and then continuation over the next 7 or 8 days or so into the new moon. Now, again, when it comes to these moon cycles, you look at them from a 5 days before and a 5 days after effect. And this is in regards to Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, you can see the microcycle top around a new moon 4 to 5 days before, or 4 to 5 days after. And for the altcoins, it's a different story, because with Bitcoin shifting liquidity out, it will go into the altcoins. So that kind of clears up some confusion. When I'm talking about these lunar cycles, I'm discussing it in regards to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the big energy in the space. There are some cryptos that do work really well with the moon cycles, but ultimately it's the same. It always comes back to Bitcoin. You got to focus on the Bitcoin chart. It gives you all of your answers as to what's going on in the altcoins. If Bitcoin's boring and sideways, that could be very bullish for altcoins. If Bitcoin just rages to the upside and you start seeing Bitcoin dominance go up as well, you can see it bleed out the altcoins based in the Satoshi pairing. So it's a lot to kind of go into just very quickly in a YouTube video, but it gets you understanding as to why I'm using the lunar cycle, and I'm focusing on the Bitcoin chart. I'm not looking at it in regards to the Ethereum chart or the XRP or any of that. It's all about Bitcoin when you're talking about bullish, and it's all about Bitcoin when you're talking about cryptocurrencies. So we're in a bull market, a cryptocurrency bull market. That's why whenever Bitcoin takes these big dumps to the downside, you see all the altcoins lose 70 to 80% of their value in the US dollar pair. Again, Bitcoin's only lost 56% of its value, but we've seen some of the top altcoin projects lose 80 to 85% value, and that's indicative of a big correction in Bitcoin. So from here on out, kind of the big thing we're waiting for is to see these moving averages start to all cross above this 200 exponential, and then daily closes above the 200 simple, and we'll probably start getting ready for a bull trap. So the $46,000 to $47,000 range, that's where we're going to start seeing the bigger resistance after we clear through the 42,000 level. Again, I said back in June that I'm anticipating a touch of 42,000 in the month of July. We actually saw that happen within the last couple of days of the month, and now we're seeing it act as a resistance, and that was anticipated. 42,000 is a big level because the number 42 is a very important number. And for those of you that have followed my Gematria decodes, you know the number 24 and 42 significance is huge. The occult, they love that number. So let's move on to one final note of the CME chart. And, you know, some people like to talk about these CME gaps. I don't really want to get too much into that today. I could entertain some of those ideas, but more importantly, I just want to show you guys the technicals, which is that this is looking extremely bullish. You can see that all of these moving averages are coiling up in the same spot. They are intersecting, but you see this white moving average has gotten crossed to the upside by this 8 simple, the yellow. That's a bullish cross. Now, this is at a monthly closure, so when CME opens tonight, it's probably going to be a little bit volatile because we'll have the bi-weekly closure as well. But just keep in note that this CME chart is looking extremely bullish, with all these moving averages going to be crossing in a bullish posture. Again, I could see the gap narrative in play. There are gaps here at 46 to 49. That's kind of indicative of the bull trap zone anyways. So if that gets filled, great for the CME gap believers, I suppose. But again, that's not really like technical analysis. That's just believing in this idea that the prices gravitate towards these gaps. And we've seen a lot of these gaps not get filled. So again, we can't say it's with 100% certainty. But again, if these fill, I would not be surprised, because we've been talking about this bull trap area anyways. It's in line with the 618 and 786 Fibonacci, and those are typically levels that you see rejections anyways. So before we move into the XRP chart, go ahead, give this video a like. Be great to get this video up to 900 likes. Been getting tons of likes on our videos lately. The channel is exploding. I appreciate all of your guys' support. Much love to all of you. So let's get into this chart right here. And I just want to hide these drawings and we're going to zoom out a little bit to see what's going on. So let's look at our monthly close first and foremost, and we are seeing that we actually did get the monthly close above the 8 simple moving average. You could see right there the closure was at 74.4 cents, and beautiful, got a close right above that. That's very nice. Go look at this bi-weekly really quickly, and we are seeing some things. We have the 21 has been breached, but definitely a little bit of resistance on this 13 exponential. Getting a closure above this 13 would be very nice. Let's see where that level is. 744 again. So the 75 cent level for tonight's close would be incredible for XRP. And let's just see our weekly chart because we're probably getting some resistance as well. Yep, perfect. Okay, so you can see this 13 and the 21 are coiling up at the resistance level that we keep getting rejected at, and that would be the 77 cent level. So anything above these two would be amazing. It would be really bullish to see XRP close tonight's candle close of the bi-weekly and the weekly above this 78 cent level. But 77 cents is going to be a major resistance just because of these two moving averages. They're key moving averages. The RSI is pretty much right there at 49.95. So again, getting into the 50 area is in bullish posture. So we just need to see the way this plays out. If CME opens tonight for Bitcoin and Ethereum and it's extremely bullish, it could definitely support XRP getting a little more juice, push it up to that 78 cent level, and that would be really nice to see. So let's go over to that 3-day since we know that's closing tonight. And this is great, actually. It's really nice to see. So we could see the RSI is a little bit shaky below the 50 level, but we see that the MACD has been crossed bullish. Histogram has flipped bullish. And we have gotten the last 3-day closure above the 21 exponential. We see today we're holding the 21 exponential on the 3-day as a support. And all of these moving averages are still flipped into the upwards position, bullish. XRP is actually looking really good now, and it looked like it has definitely bottomed. There's pretty much no technicals that I could say at this time that makes me feel bearish. Even if it came back down to the high 70 level, the high 60 cent level, like 68, that would still be really bullish. As for right now, really nothing negative to say about this chart. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so the daily, again, keep getting rejections at that 200 simple moving average. I told you guys about that in the previous video. Got 1, 2, and this will be our third. This is textbook rejection because you could see it actually try to almost get through it a little bit, but again, it's a wick. Now we're failing to hold support on this 200 exponential, and that tells me that definitely we want to get tonight's daily closure above that level. But let's look at yesterday. Daily close gave us the bullish cross. So we see the 8 simple crossing above the 55 simple, bullish as can be. Then we have right here our exponential moving averages. Let me just turn these off so you can see what I'm talking about. The exponential moving averages are starting to push bullish. So instead of it being red, orange, blue, which is in the bearish, the blue has gotten to the top now. So what's next is the 21 getting above the 34, and then we'll look at it as blue, orange, red, which is what keeps it bullish right here, blue, orange, red. And you can see everything gets really bullish once it starts holding those levels as support. So this is actually looking pretty solid. Let's wait to see how tonight's closure goes. In the event that we start seeing candle closures above the 200 simple, which I'll show you right now, is sitting around 77 cents. I anticipate we'll move up to the 236 pretty quickly, which is around the 86 cent level right here. And then after clearing that 86 cent level, pretty much $1, and then the $1 breaking or the 382 breaking, there's thin air between that level and the $1.40 level. And I could show you that actually with the VPVR indicator. Let's quickly turn that on. So when I zoom out right here, you can see that the VPVR, once you get above this 86 cent level, which should be the point of control, if I move it like this, let me see really quickly. It's kind of lagging. You see right there, it says 868, so about 87 cents, which is the 236. Once you get above this $1 area, which you could see a spike of volume profile in this region, it's thin air between that $1.40 level. It just kind of thins out, and that tells me that that's probably the bull trap area as well. Wicking up into that level and kind of just seeing how it tests on the 618 fib. And I believe we're probably like, this is like 2 weeks in the making, right? We've been talking talking about these levels of bottoms at 51 cents, and we're starting to push bullish, and it's just coming to fruition now. We're early. That's what's so great about TA and really solid TA where you're utilizing the numerology, Gematria Astrology, is because you could get in early. You don't need to wait for Twitter or Elon Musk or the news or some bullshit going on with the SEC. You can just get in early, and that's when you want to be here. You want to get into your positions when it's boring, when no one's talking about it, when it's bloody, when it's scary, when there's fear. That's when you want to get in. You don't want to wait for Twitter or whatever to bring us the positive news, because that's a terrible trading opportunity. That's typically when the whales have already milked and you're just kind of like working with the top now. So again, whatever comes to this, we were early because we were looking at the charts. We were early because we weren't paying attention to the theater and the media, right? Medea, it's the Greek goddess of deception and getting you to be caught up in theater. Go study that. So anyways, the new month has started on Patreon, and if you guys wanted to join, you could visit www.patreon.com/watersabove. We have the Gematria Masterclass posted, and it will be immediately available when you join. If you're looking to increase your education in Gematria and decoding, we have those 4 full Gematria decodes for VeChain, Hedera Hashgraph, Digibyte, and Zinfin XDC. And later today, I'll be posting my weekly Red Pill episode number 18, my technical analysis podcast, going over the charts of Dent, Anchor, Matic, Strong Block, and a couple others. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Super excited to meet all the new people who join our mastermind community. Much love.